If you use complicated sounding vocabulary in your IELTS writing, will it guarantee you a higher score? Maybe, maybe not. Today we're going to be looking at the vocabulary you should use in your IELTS exam. When I was in high school, my teacher taught me an unforgettable lesson about writing. She handed us a model essay and asked us to give it a score out of 10. It had words like plethora, inculcate, and doctrinaire. The vocabulary looked amazing, so we all said 10 out of 10. But she said 2 out of 10. Why? Because the vocabulary didn't make any sense. Vocabulary only accounts for 25% of your score, and one of the key aspects of vocabulary is word choice. Let's take a look at what IELTS scoring says about word choice. For a 9, you need sophisticated word choice. Words that are very clearly connected to the topic and are expertly used. For an 8, it's very similar to a 9, but there will be occasional inaccuracies or really small mistakes that you might make. For a 7, there will be some errors in your word choice, but you'll generally show an understanding of English vocabulary. For a 6, your ideas might be clear, but more commonly, you're just using the wrong word. So what is word choice? Word choice is using the right word at the right time to get the right meaning. So the word has to be right, not a complicated or fancy sounding word. If you use a complicated or fancy sounding word because you think it sounds sophisticated, but the meaning is imprecise, your score is going to come down. Take a look at this question prompt. It says, smoking should be banned in all public places. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Now take a look at this introduction. It's perfect. Many people smoke despite the fact that it is harmful to their health. To date, smoking has been banned in many public places, but not all. There are still areas where people can smoke. Has the time come to prohibit smoking everywhere except for private properties? I believe it has, for the 2 key reasons that smoking affects non-smokers and it impacts the environment. This introduction is spot on. It's on topic, the grammar is clear and accurate, and it sets the stage for the rest of the essay. And most importantly, the vocabulary is clear and precise. It's not filled with fancy, complicated sounding words. Let's take a closer look. These are pretty straightforward words. I'm sure you know them all. Smoke, despite the fact, harmful to their health, to date, banned, public places, prohibit, private properties, 2 key reasons, affects non-smokers, and impacts the environment. But don't let me mislead you. You can't just use simple words. You'll need to use less common words to get that 5 up to a 7 or an 8 or even a 9. But you need to keep 2 things in mind. Your word choice needs to be topical and precise. So what do I mean by topical? This means that the words are especially suited to the topic. For example, imagine I get a topic to speak or write about crime. Then you might use words like these. Commit a crime, criminal, inmates, homicide, incarcerated, judge, jury, justice system, juvenile delinquent, law, offend, re-offend, prison. This is what we mean by topical. These are words about crime that we would use to write about crime. Now imagine you've got to do a writing task about the environment. Then you would use words like air pollution, atmosphere, biodegradable, biodiversity, carbon footprint, dumping, ecosystem, emissions, fossil fuels, habitats, litter, recycle. You get the idea. But you can't just throw these words into your writing and think that it's going to get you a high score. You need to be precise. But what does precise mean? Let's take a look at another paragraph with impressive but imprecise vocabulary. Cigarette inhalers not only disintegrate their own physical condition, but also the robustness of others in their vicinities. Inhaling the exhalation of smokers, also known as passive smoking, has long been known to be cataclysmic to non-smokers. While it is intractable to see passive smokers transpiring inside smokers' own dwellings, it can and should be stopped in communal places. Effectuating an unequivocal prohibition on cigarette puffing is a single way to accomplish this, which would improve everyone's state of health. It looks like it's sophisticated and really advanced, but it's actually really difficult to read and understand what the writer is actually trying to say. Let's take a look at the scoring for this writing. This essay was filled with poor word choice, so it would be lucky to get a 6. Let's take a closer look at this student's word choice. Cigarette inhalers, disintegrate, physical condition, robustness, vicinities, exhalations, cataclysmic, intractable, cease, transpiring, dwellings, communal places, effectuating, unequivocal prohibition, puffing, state of health. The simple rule is, don't use words you don't fully understand. Clarity is key. Everything you write needs to be clear. Sometimes you'll need to use a more sophisticated or advanced word, but it's got to be the right word at the right time for the right meaning. Apart from the poor word choice, it's actually quite good. The grammar is correct, the ideas are quite clear, and the position is strong, but even the good parts are distorted by the poor word choice. So let's change these words to a clear, natural sound. Here's the first sentence. Cigarette inhalers not only disintegrate their own physical condition, but also the robustness of others in their vicinities. Let's make it better, clearer, and more precise. Smokers not only destroy their own health, but also the health of others around them. Let's look at the next sentence. Inhaling the exhalation of smokers, also known as passive smoking, has long been known to be cataclysmic to non-smokers. It's much better just to say, breathing in secondhand cigarette smoke, also known as passive smoking, has long been known to be devastating to non-smokers. Let's struggle through this third sentence, shall we? While it is intractable to cease passive smokers transpiring inside smokers' own dwellings, it can and should be stopped in communal places. This is much better. While it is difficult to stop passive smoking from occurring inside smokers' own homes, it can and should be stopped in public places. Hopefully you haven't got a headache with these sentences, but here's the fourth one. Effectuating an unequivocal prohibition on cigarette puffing is a single way to accomplish this, which would improve everyone's state of health. It's much better to say, implementing an outright ban on cigarette smoking in all public places is one way to achieve this, which would improve everyone's health. Can you see the difference here? That first paragraph is almost unreadable. It doesn't make any sense because the words are off topic and imprecise. That's the main thing to remember. The word choices you make must be on topic and precise. So the clear paragraph is going to get us an 8 or maybe even a 9. What did you think of that second one? Was it clear or unclear? Hopefully you found that clear because the word choice was on topic and precise. Okay, that was a lot. So let's recap what we've learned today. First, build on your vocabulary. You can find study material at prepareieltsexam.com. Second, use topic-specific vocabulary. And finally, make sure your word choice is precise. Thank you for watching. I've been Nick. See me in the next video. Namaste.